Hello, I have started recording now. So this is not only a stream, I'm also doubling it up as a lecture of me figure drawing, and it will be uploaded to YouTube once the stream ends. Edit that out with, I would add music, but there's already music there. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I don't think YouTube censors streams automatically, so that's what we're doing now. Alright, let's get to it. Have some tea. And let's do some figure drawing. So this pose is very dynamic, so I would suggest starting with sort of the general idea. What I see is the kind of C shape that it has. So I think we might want to start with that, yeah. So I'm getting the general idea of the C shape like this in here, and then it kind of curves back around the C shape. So it's a pretty large C shape, as you can see here, an arch. Then perhaps that kind of goes into the arm. Ooh, we're getting a huge C shape, and the arm bends. So this would be kind of the general idea of the pose. It's just a very abstract thing now. The thing here and the issue might be that I can't really focus on things like the pelvis, because they're not, because I want to practice gesture, not really like structure. But this is a very structural pose in essence. So let's see if we can, I guess, get around that and actually make it a gesture. But I don't know, that might be a bit more difficult for sure. I will start here with a wrapping line, and then I'll develop that wrapping line into a rhythm, like so. This is how we'll get the leg. Now I'm assuming we can sort of convey some shape here with wrapping lines. Alright, that is the case. And then this leg, I'm gonna just have one long S-curve, actually, that goes like this. Right, and then we can kind of, because here there's a break around here, make a resistance there, a wrapping line to convey that, and a wrapping line to convey this. And now we kind of have this going into the pelvis. Butt cheeks, we can develop that a little bit more. Always glancing around the chat. I'm sorry for that. It is, however, something worth, doing. Alright. The arm will move back a little bit because it isn't actually in here. It was just more like the rhythmic thing. Now I've got the arm, sort of movement of the arm going. I would want this to focus more on the page, it just doesn't. That does kind of upset me, but I don't think I can do anything about it. Alright. So now that we've got this, I'm gonna make this the cylinder here that he's standing on, as I do think that is important, of course. And we'll do some very basic hatching. Yeah, I even went overboard with basic hatching. Oh, it's a one perspective. Oh shit. It's okay. That, and then we know kind of his head is coming out here, so I'm just gonna draw that as I see it, because I don't think there's any, like, we could make a rhythm like this, I think. That kind of goes into his head, but that's a bit unintuitive, so maybe not. Then The arm here kind of goes out, and there's sort of two sections. Again, one wrapping line here, and then it kind of goes a tiny bit more forward. Again, into, it's sort of, all of it is kind of a curve, I would say. So, yeah, just like that. And now that we've got this, we don't have to erase this, but I'm going to because it's confusing. We're gonna push against this with another ribbon here. That'll kind of signify the muscle that we've got there. And honestly, this might just be decent enough. And I think it conveys the movement well enough for us to sort of leave it there. I'm gonna get it close to the camera. It does not like focusing. So I'll try a different pen just to see if it focuses better on different colors. What about blue? Ooh, no. It does not like blue. Green? Not so well. Well, if you don't see this very well, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Let's get back to another pose. So we've done this one, so let's do another one. Ooh, again, we are getting poses with a lot of perspective in them, which is interesting, I think. Because it's not something I really do that much, so I guess I'm learning today too. These would be cool to draw. So in the last one, I chose to mostly focus on still rhythms, even though it's under perspective. In this case, I'll try to do the same, but I think I do have to put more emphasis on the perspective under the rhythms, because otherwise it just won't be as good. And I do want it to be good, of course. Alright, so I think first let's define, I guess, the head. So the head really is here just an extension of the movement of the neck. If I make the neck like this, kind of add that there, I already have the head. Then I think we'll take the neck, which is here, and the head. I'll just kind of push it down. Maybe even, I think here, a good thing to do would be a wrapping line to sort of show the perspective already, because the perspective here is very extreme. Right. Got a wrapping line. Actually, even more extreme, I think. So, take that back. Let's do more extreme wrapping line. Something like this. Yeah. Very extreme. It's pretty big wrapping line. Alright, now that we've got that, we might want to do... maybe not. Now that we've got that, let's kind of get into the pelvis. So we'll start defining that. So the pelvis goes up, like this. And... the wrapping line for the pelvis would probably be something like this. Like this. And we go into the first leg, which usually starts from the top of the pelvis, somewhere in here. Bottom of the leg. And we kind of get into one foot here, and we can make it longer and bigger because there is the perspective, of course. So if I make it like this, it'll somewhat convey that it's under a very extreme perspective. I think would be a bit better if I conveyed it even stronger before, but you know, I'll take what I can get. It's not perfect, but it's good enough, I think. Okay, first leg, I'm just gonna do this here, I think. Probably with a wrapping line to sort of convey that this is a big leg. This leg is also pretty thick, but not as much, and his butt is very big. in this shape. Maybe even like we cut the leg in here. Extend this. We can maybe sort of get into like that. I really pray that this is all visible in the stream, because if it isn't, there is no one to tell me, and I pray. I do pray. Okay, so and then we do both of the arms, I guess. Maybe we do this leg. I'd say this is more of a triangle leg, so sort of go from the triangle, edit it a tiny bit, of course, but it's mostly a triangle leg, and then it's very big here. And then I think we're mostly done. As long as we do the arms, of course. So, it's doing a very strange movements with the arms. I mostly see this arm on the right doing a strange movement with the shoulder. So that's the first one we'll kind of try and do something with. If I could get the camera closer, that would help. Is this better? Right, there's no one to answer me. I'm streaming to myself. Well, people in the recording, I hope this is better. And if it isn't, I'm so sorry. I'm trying. Alright. And then the arms. So the first arm I think is being kind of pushed, is going to the side. So the rhythm would be something like this. I'm not going into the muscle there. But we're just gonna make it one rhythm, maybe even like this. I think there's some strength here, so maybe I'll try like this. We know that it ends around here, so I'm just gonna cut it. And that's one arm. We could do like that. The second arm, again, he's twisting it a bit, but I'm not sure if I want to convey that too much, so maybe I'll do something like this, indicating the start twisting, then indicating the overlap of the torso. Again, these are just indications. I'm not actually trying to make the overlap too visible, because this is gesture, not anatomy. And then I'm probably just gonna make it again into an arm. And I think the arm here is very long, so we will make it shorter. I said it's not anatomy, but that doesn't mean you can just get away with making extremely long arms, of course. Like this. And yeah, that's yourself. And now the rapid ones do sell the believability of the pose. So I wanted some of these poses for you guys, but I think these are a bit more difficult, so I don't think I'll do that, because I don't think these poses are particularly easy. Like, I'm having issues with these poses, so I can't imagine. Well, I can imagine that you'd have issues too, right? And I want to pick like easier poses for now, because we're still learning this stuff. You guys are, and I'm teaching it, so I am picking some harder poses, but these are like very hard. I don't think these will make for a very good exercise. Just on the basis of believing. Alright, that's pose number 2. Pose number 2. Pretty good. 3 figure drawings, isn't that amazing? In only 22 minutes. Hey, that's not too bad. I've been recording for 14. That means I'm doing 7 minutes per figure drawing. That's actually not bad at all. But I'm making things. Okay. Oh, hello. Another person came in. We're mostly figure drawing here. The photos from Line of Action, and yeah, I'm also teaching at the same time, or showing my method, I guess, with some brooches. So if you're excited for that, obviously you can stay and enjoy it. If not, then don't. I mean, it's really up to y'all, people. So we've got another pose here. I think this one sort of, again, I'll start with the head because it seems a bit more still, to me at least. So I think starting with the head could be a good way to get it to break the ice. It's looking a bit down, and now I'll sort of go off of that into the body. So neck, or shoulders. Oh, and the person's gone. That's okay. And you can barely see it, can you? Problem is, I don't know how much more I can, like, zoom this in. The camera's really above my face now, but way below my face, actually. You still can't see it, I'm afraid I can't help that. In that case, we would have to postpone this recording and the stream. But the only people who can tell me if they can see it is the people in the recording. Because I'm not really doing it at full resolution. Okay, I hope you can see the canvas now. This is as good as I can make it, I think. So if it zooms in on it, I hope it's gonna be visible. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna start with the head. And I'm probably gonna lean off of the rhythms of the body. So I see a pretty intense C rhythm around here, and that maybe goes back into the leg, actually. Or maybe I think it kind of spins into it, into the leg. Like this. Maybe? Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. Into the back of the leg, right here. I have to move my model so you can see better. Just gonna put myself here. Right, now you can see on the canvas. I know I'm looking into nowhere. You have to ignore that. Okay. So he's going into the leg that's here. Then the rest of his body is so just spinning into that. The leg is twisting like this, so we've got a huge rhythm going along these lines. 4 people have now left the fucking stream. What am I doing? It's okay. It's okay. I am gonna move myself though. I think that was a good idea. Nine, 6. There we go. I have flipped myself, and I am now looking from the other side onto the canvas. Alright. Not ideal. Let's continue. We can probably spin off of this into the arm as well. I think the leg is actually much higher, so we've underestimated the rhythms there. So something like this. Wow, I forgot I'm actually recording this. I should not have been mean. I'm sorry for that, guys. Anyway. Into the rest of the body, which has a shape like this. Then we go into the arm. And the arm is pretty simple. He's just doing this. He's kind of holding his leg right there. With the wrapping lines around the leg to sort of convey where it's going. Is it like that? It is. Okay. That's interesting. I like this pose. I really like this model too, actually. I think his name is Alex. And I mean, if I remember the name of the model, you know, he's probably good. There's one arm that kind of goes into here. Yep, and the rest can just be conveyed with wrapping lines, I think. Ooh, it's a bit not rhythmic enough. All right. And the other leg, kind of just, we can probably just do this. I don't think we need to be particularly rhythmic here. The chair. What if YouTube is not responding? Open Studio. Oh no. It's probably not good. Well, I do really apologize when let's go to stream health. Stream status is poor. That's not good, is it? Uh-oh. How do I fix that? How do I fix that? Shit. Well, maybe good no one's watching this, because I'm panicking. I don't think I can do anything without it, so I hope it's gonna get better. I'm gonna switch the charcoal too, so you can see my drawing. Anyway, I'm just gonna get the leg here, the cross section. I'm gonna draw a plane here just so it's clear what this is, which is the knee, and probably like a wrapping one here, a wrapping one here, show that the hand is overlapping. Yeah, maybe a little bit here. I reckon this is good enough, probably. Well, that's a small issue. Oh, that is excellent. So that was a hiccup, I guess. We're back. Back online. Good. I was, quite a bit concerned there. I think we need to make this torso a whole lot shorter, though. Smaller probably too. Hand isn't natural. It's not the best. I think it's good enough, but it could be better. Oh, again, YouTube is... that's okay. Let's do another figure drawing. Yay! Totally not stressed about YouTube not responding at all while I'm literally fucking streaming on it. I did. Oh my god, this tea is gonna be overdone. But hey, the leaves are expanding in this way. And you can't see it. I'm gonna show you guys. Look, isn't that cool? I am so sorry for anyone who tuned into this stream and had a horrible experience because of it. I would try to fix it if I knew how and had a way to do that, which I don't. So I can't fix it. But I would love to. I just Okay. This is our least populated stream to date with 3 people, 4 people who have now given up on watching it at all. I get it, guys. I do get it. I hope no one's like texting me saying, "Oh, I cannot even watch the stream." No, okay, no one is. So presumably the stream's working at the very least. And you guys aren't having like a terrible experience because of the stream not working. You're just having a terrible experience because the stream's blind. That to me is better. Okay. Alright. So let's get back to drawing. With the frick nose. Boop. Now this pose is a lot more, I would say, traditionally difficult. So I'm gonna switch to charcoal so you can see better. But I do draw worse, so we'll see how that goes. This is, let me see. Yeah, okay. We do have medium charcoal or hard charcoal. Here, this is like extra hard charcoal. It says soft, but it's lying. Right. I'm trying to hard charcoal. So this torso is pretty obvious in what it's doing. It's just a huge C-curve going into the front of the arm. And oh my god, I can't draw because the cape is getting in the way. Wait, I'm just gonna... Please don't break. Okay, so far. It's a huge C-curve. Like this. And then I think we might be able to curve it around like that. The front of the arm. Not like that. This is why I don't like charcoal. I don't really get the opportunity to refine my lines as much. But it is more visible for you guys who are not watching, probably because it wasn't visible before. So I do understand your pains. Anyways, wrapping line, probably a wrapping line here and a wrapping line around here to show what's happening with the arm. Then the boxing glove. And we're just gonna gesture that one for now. Okay, then the torso kind of flips around here. And we can do a Hampton thing, I guess. See, no refining because it's charcoal. We have to use an eraser. Honestly, I'll use a wrapping line probably. Sort of convey where the torso is going. Then we'll try with front of the torso. Kind of spin it into the pelvis. Yeah, this is half decent, I guess. This, of course, goes into the head as well. I'm gonna probably do that. Right, got that. Alright, good. This whole thing is starting to become a lot worse. So if I said this is a pretty standard pose, it seems I'm not very good at pretty standard poses then. Anyway, we'll spin this. I think it was the arm. I was doing it way too early before getting the movement of the torso. Then in here, kind of splits into 2 legs, so we could just really borrow this, kind of push it on top, and get from it to the weight-bearing leg, which is the this one. There's this one. We can kind of get that. Spin this down, make a rhythm here. I think since it's the weight bearing, we can even do. Kind of wanted to. I was deciding which rhythm to do. I decided to do the wrong one. We can do this one. But we need the proportion to be correct. So I again apologize. Alright, this looks better now, luckily. It's one leg, and the other one. Just kind of leaning back, right? Not quite like this, though that is the rhythms that we're going to be doing. Like this, and like this. But I think this was the wrong rhythm to choose, actually, now that I think about it. We probably should have gone from here into probably just spin it like this into an S curve sorts. And you know, wrapping lines save lives, so let's do a few of those. Convey what's happening in the pose. There's a second arm here, so it's gonna go down. The second arm's gonna take him up. Right, we can add some of the cloth that he has on him. So this would be the butt, the pelvis around here. So he has the things on his pelvis. And yeah. And just wrapping lines. Sell it. Should have done those earlier, honestly, but yes. I'm not sure if we did it in the best way we could have, but it's okay enough, I guess. This one I would say is one of the worst ones that we did today. However, it is the first one that's visible, which is just excellent. Again, I might make this spine even smaller. I think we really did kind of overexert how big it is. It's not bad. It's not perfect, for sure, but it's not bad. Alright, it's another one done. We're gonna do the leg here too, just so you kind of signal where the leg's going. And yeah, I do think, despite all its faults, it is pretty dynamic. Right? I like it. But now that I've done that, it's not that bad actually. I do kind of like it. All right. This will mark our. I don't actually know how many figure drawings we did, but quite a few, I believe. We've drawn every single one. Impressive. Ooh, we got a wheelchair person. That will be difficult to draw, and I don't know. I guess I haven't drawn many people like that, and we can draw her clothes as well. It'll be interesting. It'll be very different from what we were doing so far, so I guess that's cool. Oh yeah, the tea is horrible. God. Overbrewed. Jesus. That's strong. Oh, that is strong. Okay. I've moved on from the T being very strong now. We're also playing music, by the way, from here. Check out the album. Good game. I'll try and brew the tea for a short time because I'm scared of getting another extremely overbrewed tea. This is especially a risk with jasmine because it can get super bitter. Okay, wheelchair, right. Let's drop this person then. So in here, I would say a normal seeker for the shoulders will do. Like this, then we can kind of get that into the head. Maybe this isn't the best approach. We'll see how it goes. It is a very static pose. So honestly, we might just want to render it a little bit too, just so it's more interesting. Let's see if we can actually do that though, because I'm not sure. For the head, I'm using a combination of the Loomis method with some construction that's usually added to the Bergman method. I think this is a combination that Michael Hampton uses, whose figure drawing I really like, though I'm not only doing his figure drawing here, I'm also combining some other techniques. Regardless, yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the head construction I'm doing. Not particularly difficult. You can start from a circle as well, it doesn't matter. The fact that I'm starting from more of a cube is just like a thing that I like to do. It's not really, as you can see, it's still a circle with like stuff. Nothing too complex. I'd even say it can be unproductive at times, right? I might want to do this as well. I don't know if we want to, but I did, so. Because this pose is very static. It's not quite what we're doing here, but I guess it'll do. If you notice, the wrapping lines here are actually like this. It's kind of going backwards, and then it kind of flops, spins, it goes forwards now. Into the hand. Same, and the wrapping lines usually switch around when the planes switch, so that would be around the elbow. So it's a really good way actually to have some shortcuts for the elbow as well. This might look like a shoulder, but it's not. It's or like the end of a shirt. It's not. It's a wrapping line. So like that. You can do this. Some geometry here. We don't really care about geometry and like perspective too much, so I'm gonna not be commenting on these too much. I think you know how to do perspective. This is, I believe, 1 point. So this one is going like this one will go like this. It's a bit more straight even. So it's closer to the camera, I guess. Or I don't guess, it's closer to the camera. Or like, angle-wise closer to the camera. Draw this, this, this. Look back. Oh, one viewer, again, hello. We're doing figure drawing here. This is not much of a figure, I know. I didn't think it would be much of a figure. I didn't think this was gonna happen, so. Look, now that we're here, I did get it. And I did say I'm gonna draw every figure that I got, so we're doing this one. I'm also commenting it with some, I guess, learning stuff, though it's not necessary. I am recording this. I will be uploading it, but as a private lecture, so it will, if you have access to those, then it will be in the playlist as usual. If you don't have access to these, then I'm sorry. And you'll have to watch the stream, I guess. I apologize for the inconvenience. But most people aren't watching the stream anyway, so I don't think it's a particularly wanted lecture. I should be able to see the chat. Oh, hey! Someone said heyo. I don't know when that was. God, I hope it was like a couple of minutes ago. Hello, LH. Who is LH? I don't know if I can know. Like, I might know you or I might not know you. If I don't know you, hello, hi. If I do know you, hello, hi. Doesn't change. I do not know you. Cool. Welcome, new person. I love this music. Very good vibes. Thank you. This is Machinarium, the soundtrack. It's from a Czech game made by Studio Amaneta, I believe it's called. Very niche, quite popular here in Europe, and I really like it. I was supposed to go to a concert from the guy who made it, but unfortunately the concert got... Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it in the end. The concert still happened, I just wasn't there. So that sucks, but I still like the music a lot. Just got the wheels here. I'm probably gonna go with mostly action, make a different track. Alright. I did not think I'm gonna be drawing architecture today. Or, you know, objects, but... I guess, in a way, this is still a figure drawing. So... it has the right to be included. Though I am gonna be... maybe we'll get another chance at something. I do hope so. I really liked the music. They very rarely have concerts. Because, you know, he made like 2 soundtracks. He's not a very popular... he's not very popular, I think. Outside of like niche circles. Though I think most Czech people would probably recognize him. Like if you told them the name. He's not like exactly well known. But I do hope he'll do something at some point. It'd be cool. Though I don't really need to go there myself. I think it's fine if I missed it forever. It's not like a huge loss. This is the wheel. Right. Now we can finally get to the actual meat of this, which is the figure itself. Okay. So I'm gonna get the rhythm here of the other arm, go down and swoop in like this. Maybe with a wrapping line actually. Just swoop in like that. Around, get it into the rhythm of the other hand. Convey the perspective with wrapping lines. And this one goes like this. I believe this one goes like this. 1, 2. And that might have been a bit too late, so I put it here. Hate erasing. Okay, and that is the second wrapping line. This, we roughly have the gesture, though I do think this is overdone a little bit. It's not that it's incorrect, it's just that the lines I erased aren't erased completely. Anyway, yeah, it should be good enough. We can sort of patch for the shirt. And yeah, we've got a gesture, I guess. Gesture, quote unquote. Okay. Move on. Now this one is interesting. So what I see here is a long C curve. And that is what we'll be making. So, that charcoal pencil. It's so dark. It is a charcoal pencil. I had an issue where I don't think the previous drawings I did on the stream were visible. I had like drawings like these. This was the first one. And I did them with a colored pencil. And I don't think you guys could see them. Or anyone. Like... what I drew. So I had to switch to a pencil that's a lot more visible. So that's when I switched to charcoal, and I do think these are much more visible on stream. And while it isn't the best for figure drawing, I think I'm gonna compromise on the quality of my drawings just to get them to be visible at all. Because this wouldn't be very worth it otherwise. It's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. So this is a charcoal pencil. I'm using the hard one. I also have soft ones and one that is super hard, which is this one. I don't like it at all. It says soft. It is not soft. I can barely get a line. So this one acts more like a lead pencil, or a graphite pencil. So I am going to be using this one, the hard charcoal pencil, so we can see what's actually happening in the post. So I see a long... Okay, I see a long C curve here. That kind of goes around the body, sort of like this. And then down, maybe it curves even like that. Ooh. Okay, we're getting like an interesting sort of rhythm here. This might need to be edited later, but whatever. Okay, I'm probably gonna swoop in, get the pelvis here, and we can go on to sort of define what the actual body is doing. So I might have made this actually not dynamic enough. Maybe something like this would be even better. Now it's a bit unclear where the arm and the torso is separating, but I don't think that's a huge issue since this is just getting the rhythms across. We can get the torso... That's wrong. We can get the torso, like this. Alright. And now we just... larger, actually. We just kind of swoop to the bottom, into the pelvis. And we sort of have a gesture to work with. We can use this, get it to be the first leg. God, barely. This is a big pose that I started. I'm gonna make this a bit more to the side because I think this is going kind of like here. So we're gonna make a bigger counter here. And I would say this is not the weight bearing leg. I would say that's the other one. So I'll just do this with less clarity, I guess. With the separation here by wrapping lines. Alright. Second leg I would say is weight bearing. So we'll do this. We'll immediately swoop down. Like this is an S curve this time. And it might be a little bit more forward, which I didn't do initially. Like that. So we're adding a little bit of perspective. Could be interesting. We'll see. Of course, if we're adding perspective, wrapping lines will help to sell it. So let's do those. Wow, that looks a bit strange, but let's see if this works out. And yeah, I'll do this here. Already got the arm going pretty much, so I can just curve it. It's basically done. Then I think the same kind of goes here. You just add wrapping lines, one or two of them. So I'm just trying to make it clear that this is where it separates. And yeah, into the head. The head could be a counter ribbon to this, so something like that. And I'll just probably gesture up the head because we don't really need each one here. Belly button. And since he is cloth, since he has cloth on him, I will add that. It might also serve to add some more dimension with this wrapping line for the leg. Alright. Yeah, something like that. I think I should have maybe pushed this a little bit more, but it isn't bad as it is. It's dynamic enough. I would like it to be a little bit more dynamic though. This leg is very long. Actually, let's fix that because that's actually a little bit upsetting. It can be long, but we haven't made it in perspective enough for it to be that long. Definitely curve way sooner. It can be long here. It's not really an issue. Perspective is in fact there, but not here. Okay. This is better, I think. Okay, that's drawing done. I'm trying to be quick, I guess. I mean, we've already burned through, gosh, like 10 pages, 10 finger drawings in 50 minutes. That's pretty fast. I don't think it's been actually 10 figure drawings though. It's probably been less. Okay, this is a very front-facing pose, so that will be interesting to draw. I don't necessarily see a ribbon here, so I'm going to start with the head. Might be too big, actually. Oh, he's need to look at the actual picture before I start drawing the head. So he's looking a little bit to the side. Yeah, something like this, I think. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Alright. Now we can get the rhythm of the spine from this, which would be something like this. Go into the back. And the start of the pelvis, we can already extend that. If we look at the angles, it's tilted a little bit like this, so we can be back. So this, you might notice, is a different method from the one I was using before. This is more akin to how Michael Hampton would draw figures. I do a combination of the two methods by Matesi and Hampton. This one is, I think, a little bit more stale, but it is good when I sort of don't see many strong rhythms, as I do not see any of those in this pose. So it will help to sort of convey it, if we do it correctly, that is. If we don't do it correctly, nothing will save us. That would be bad, so it's not. Alright. This, the other arm goes like that. Here? Just holding the rope. And this one might be a bit difficult, we'll see. Okay. So holding a rope here. Let's throw that. Just kind of trying to help myself with any tools that I get. So the front of the body is going in this direction, surprisingly enough. So go off of that into the legs. Need to be a bit more forward for that to be visible. Okay. To hold it down now, it's resisting. Okay, this is going forward like this, and I believe this is the weight bearing leg, so let's do it first. So the pelvis would probably be around here ish, I guess. I kind of can get off of that into the first leg, which goes forward and then curves around, obviously. And wrapping lines will help us sell it, as always. It's doing a strange thing where it kind of goes forward from here, so I'm going to try and replicate that with wrapping lines, but that might not work. The upper leg is going more back. And again, probably I'll stick with this template for the leg, because here I think it works quite well. Then we'll do a little bridge man thing here with a triangular leg again, going forward. I'm getting squished. Just like that. And of course this needs to be here too. And I might just do this. Can convey the perspective even better. Then wrapping lines. And pelvis here should be indicated. I don't know how well though. The torso. Yeah, this for a not so good drawing. This turned out surprisingly well. You can even draw his scarf. Though I would like a different pencil for that. I might just have to sharpen this one down. I do have a sharpener on me. It isn't the best, but it should probably... I do not have a sharpener on me. Okay. Did I just get betrayed by my own sharpener? That's unfortunate. Well, I don't see it anywhere here, so I guess we don't have one. Unless... I have it here. Oh well, it was a good sharpener. I do have an alternative. The art knife. Originally, I believe, just a marker. I'm just gonna try and sharpen it a tiny bit. This is charcoal, so it shouldn't be that difficult to sharpen. Alright, that's sharp enough. Made a mess. But this will actually help sell the homemade aesthetic or something, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't look that bad. It's not even visible. Okay, let's continue. Gonna be drawing along while watching the stream. That's a good idea. You can even do the figures as well. Though I don't know if you're up for doing these figures. I'm barely up for doing these figures. By which I mean, it's not that fun to do 20 figure drawings in a row. It is very good practice though. I'm enjoying it so far. Today's a special day, I guess. Normally I probably wouldn't. And this is standard fold structure. So these are tension points. There's multiple tension points in here, and they kind of go down, droop into the fold, and then they do this curtain shape. Each fold splitting. Okay, someone is rigorously texting me. We will ignore it. So that's the thing that's happening here with the folds. Doing a sort of curtain-esque structure. Then it combines into this fold, which is Z fold, and it goes this. So the overall folds will do something like this. I believe, yeah, that they kind of swoop into that. So it's not too complicated, it's just a combination of folds. Yeah, something like this. And that's the sort of thing that's happening here. So we'll go from this to this and do the fold. Just like this. And we title back to the initial fold. Got ourselves a cloth. A row. I can't do them as fast, to be honest. That's a shame. I mean, I did like practice for a very long time, so I'm glad I'm getting to a point where they're kind of whatever considered fast by other people. But I know people who do like 20 figure drawings a minute. not a minute, but they do like one figure drawing for 1 to 2 minutes, and that I think is very, very fast. I have a much more leisurely tempo, I guess, compared to them. And I am trying to, like, I could probably be faster as well, but like, I don't want to force myself to sort of be very stressed, so these are very leisurely done figure drawings. And I do want to keep it that way, because otherwise it would be very stressful. Okay, some tea. Okay, do you ever want more figure drawings? More? I don't want to do that one, honestly. Now this one is interesting. Not only is it cloth practice, which I haven't been doing in a while, but also figure drawing. Let's see. Okay, so there is a rhythm. Again, a seeker. I actually see multiple rhythms, but let's do the seeker one. So I think something like this, from his torso to his sort of leg. I can probably spin it to get the rest of his torso, like this. Maybe that's enough, honestly. Into his arm, which I can get here. Wrapping line, leg, wrapping line. Into, oh, the other wrapping line here is very out of place. Anyway, that would be into the knee. So the knee, let's start around here, I guess. Go down like this into the leg. Then here I see a ribbon. Kind of. We can sort of, this would be the sort of torso or pelvis here, kind of going like that. Can make wrapping line for it as well. Then the body would be doing something along these lines. I think maybe that would be too many wrapping lines, so I'm actually not going to do that. Get a little bit chaotic. Like this. And honestly, into the head, sure. Your line work is good, very dynamic and great control over the line weight. I'm doing line weight? I didn't know that. Thank you for the compliments. I didn't even know I'm doing line weight. I'm mostly trying to get the gesture across here. It's not really like focusing on line work very much, though I do think the sort of flowy line like this, or like the fluid thing is very important to gesture. Otherwise, I'm not really focusing on much of it, for now at least. If I were to develop these, I think that would probably be a lot more important to me, but for now I'm just kind of trying to get it to a very dynamic, flowy state, so I'm trying to be extremely loose. Though I don't think I'm as loose as some people would want me to be, especially instructors. Though not my instructors. I did get critique from, I believe his name is Michael Matesi, whose method I'm mostly using today. Or a combination of his method, but he very much inspired this. And I do believe he critiqued my initial work, which was from a while ago. I've since then tried to make my lines a lot more flowy. And he did say that it was not fluid enough, so I'm trying to make it a whole lot more fluid. And that's why I've been sort of making figure drawings lately. That's why the stream is focused on figure drawings, not on like, I don't know, inking as the last few streams were. Because I wasn't dynamic enough, so I'm trying to sort of improve that. I don't know how these folds work. So we're just gonna do black. It's like these folds I get, because this is the tension point, it kind of goes down from the tension point. Hi Mikuru, awesome work. As usual, keep it up. Thank you, narrator. Welcome to the stream. I don't know how long you'll be sticking around. I'm sure you could tell me. But welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. It's we've been drawing for a while. I'll show you after I do this specific one, I'll show you what we've done so far. It's quite a bit actually. Mostly figure drawings. This will also be recorded. If you have access to my playlist with lectures, you will get this will be uploaded in it, just as the last figure drawing video, though that wasn't a stream. That was focused on me just drawing figures and sort of narrating how I'm drawing them, what techniques I'm using. So this is basically in the same vein as that. So if you've seen that video or have access to it, it is basically the same thing. Let's get the box. Okay. And now just a second arm, I guess. I like this guy. He's very silly. I like him. There's a very silly kind of motion. Here, a wrapping line, I think like that. And just to the hand, I think something like this. Pretty difficult pose, pretty difficult hand. But yeah, the shape would be something like that. I don't think the head is quite good, well, good enough, but it might have to do for now. As I said, these are just gestures. I'm not going to develop the drawing. So, might refine the head though. We'll see. Get the thing here. Honestly, this overlap might just be worth drawing as well, because I don't know if it's clear enough from just the pose. Okay. It might look a bit fat when I do that, actually. Maybe just we leave it as it is. It's good enough. Yeah, I mean, kind of wrap these things around. Something like this will probably convey enough for me to not have to develop it more, which I don't want to. As I've said, these are just bigger drawings. I don't have interest in developing them into full portraits with light and shadow. Done that already. But bigger drawings are a whole nother beast that I'm not necessarily as good at anyway. That's even full-on stuff, so... Plus, this would not be the pen I would use for those. I guess I would actually use this pen, but only for like the developing, not the sketching. Okay. This is probably good enough, with the exception of this not being clear. So we will refine it, and this not being quite clear either, so let's refine that as well. That is a monstrously long leg. I'll have to turn it way sooner. Okay, that's better. Alright. So now we're done. And I did promise I will show the other drawings that I did today, so let's do that. We started with drawings done in a red pencil. So we started with, I believe it was, this drawing was done. Then we did this drawing. Then we did this drawing. We weren't so much comfortable. Anyway, then we have this drawing. Then we have this drawing. Then we have this drawing, and I believe this is the first one that I cut. See what I'm doing. So this is that. Then we've got them to obviously also done in charcoal. And now we've done this one. Actually, there's more. Wow, we've done this one. That's also in charcoal. And now we've done this one, which is also in charcoal. Yay! And we will keep sticking with charcoal unless you guys want it to not be visible again, which I think you don't, so charcoal it is. Did one of my pages fold? It did. Oh, nice. My drawing block is resisting a little bit because I need to fold it a whole lot to fit in the camera. But I think we'll manage. I'll again pour in some water. The tea I'm drinking is jasmine tea. I don't remember which country it's from, unfortunately. I do think it's Japanese. Might be China though. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't had this tea in a while. It is in the shape of buds that unwind as time goes on. So before they were very small petals, now they look like this. The leaves kind of let it all go loose. Wow, my block is full of water now. So yeah, we are at like the 6th infusion. And since this is a pretty big guy one, it's still going quite strong. So I will be making flash brews, as it's called. Okay, the droplets of water are on the 2nd page as well. Whatever, work around them. Okay, anyway, let's move on to the next drawing. This is definitely a hard-to-do pose. But with the help of wrapping lines, I believe we shall tackle this one this time. I will be starting with rhythm again. I'll be avoiding these droplets of water. So, I do think we start with the back here that has a rhythm, and that kind of swoops down into the leg. So maybe something like this. And the leg kind of curls around. That's probably going to be our initial shape that we're going to work from. Then I think if we do wrapping line here, we already have the leg kind of done. Though I do think that is a little bit backwards. More like this, I believe. Okay. Now, I know I said this is the back shoulder. So let's move from there to get the neck like this into the head like this. And now we have the head. She's looking down, so we're just gonna do standard square head, or you know, head, I guess. Looking down. And that's it. I don't think I need to render it a whole lot more because it's gonna be covered by the arm. Then I would have liked to use this for the other hand too, so let's just kind of extend it and get the rhythm on the other hand as well. Probably into the front of the hand. Maybe not. Ooh, I'm not sure actually. Let's see how this develops first with the legs. So I'm just gonna get this like a bit more developed. It's the whole leg like that. Is going forward and back. Put here, so that's pretty extreme perspective there. Foreshortening, whatever we want to call it. Then this is the shoulder, it's going to the front of the arm. Then probably back, and I am not sure if we haven't made this too big, because the arm like this would be pretty large, so we will have to make the neck and the head go lower. That is a shame, but it's whatever. I don't believe her neck's quite like that, but this head can definitely be lower, so let's do that. I don't really like altering the things I've already drawn, but I'm not drawing with pencil, so I need to use the eraser. If I were drawing with like a colored pencil or something, that would probably not be necessary, but since we're not, we're gonna be having to do a few of those. Though I don't think it's a huge issue. I would prefer not to. Okay, the head is larger, by the way. Something like this. Yeah, that's a whole lot more accurate. Okay. It's not quite an easy pose, but I think we'll manage. I don't know why I'm making the drawing so... Well, I do know why I'm making the drawing so small. It's because it's a small pose, and also there's a drop of water right here. Anyways, I believe this should be good enough if we take the other leg, which would be starting around here, because this is torso having an overlap. The other leg would be here. It's the knee. It goes down. Like that. First knee is here. It's getting very complicated for a pose, but we'll manage, I think. I'll try to help myself with negative shape here. I'll probably just make it black. I hate to say it, I think that's it. I don't think we can develop this pose mode without getting into anatomy. Or like structure. I guess we could do a little bit of structure just to kind of help ourselves. We can refine this line for sure. And then we could say that this is the... No, you know what? I'm not going to do structure. I said I'm not going to do structure. I'm not even going to. We can do this, though, to separate the pelvis and the torso. Helps the soul just a tiny bit more. And we can do her dress, because all of that is gesture still. And I will not be breaking my promises for the stream of only doing gesture. No structure. Because to make a good figure drawing, you do not need structure, you just need gesture. And that's where we're doing gesture. It's the basis of all of the technique that I'm using and that I'm teaching, so. I can do a wrapping line for the arm, and it seems like it's very thin. It's actually a lot thicker, especially in here. Yeah, something like that. We'll see. It's better. Okay. It's another figure drawing down, I guess. This one is a bit more unclear. So is the photo, so yeah, you want to use something like that. Alright. Another figure drawing. You ever watch Jake Don't Draw? I like his tutorials. Well, we can find that out if I've ever watched him, because I do not know who that is. I definitely don't watch him often, but...
Welcome to the step-by-step guide to enroll in the app.
Oh my god, shut up. Let's find out if I draw him at least a little bit. Ooh, Johnson a Sargent. I do know him! I've seen his YouTube shorts. But no, I've never watched him. Let's see. He does look pretty decent. I mean, I don't know much about him at all. I only know some of his oil painting tips. I do think they're pretty good. But I don't really watch many art YouTubers because from experience I know that a lot of them... This guy seems informed though. From all I've seen of him, he actually knows his stuff. But most figure drawing YouTubers and just YouTubers in general don't really know what they're talking about from my experience, so I don't like to watch them because they just have no idea what they're talking about. I think some of them even wrote a book. I don't want to throw shade at them. I'm sure they don't do it on purpose, but for instance, Draw Like Sir, I believe, is one of them. So I don't think he's very good at actually drawing or like proportion. I don't like to take advice from him because I found some of it to be inaccurate. I'd say he's one of the better ones though. I know Blue Biscuits made a tutorial on her way of drawing heads, and it was like basically the Loomis method. and she made a wrong tutorial about the Loomis method. And from that experience, I don't really like to watch a lot of people who do YouTube, like drawing and painting courses. But in their defense, a lot of professors that actually wrote a book on figure drawing, like legendary one, like Michael Hampton. So these are professors that teach figure drawings professionally. So I really like to watch him. I also have his book. I can even show that. So this would be Michael Hampton, Drawing by Design and Invention. It's mostly the book I'm basing a lot of my stuff on. And I've basically gone through the whole book and drawn everything in it. So, good book, by the way. Then I believe Michael Matesi has a YouTube channel as well. Though a lot of the stuff he does is paywalled. Not all of it is. So he's a professor of figure drawing as well. I'll actually make the screen here a bit larger. Temporarily. So I do believe Michael Matesi has a channel as well, where he teaches figure drawing. So I didn't really watch much of his stuff, but I do implement a lot of the things he's written about. And I did watch some of his seminars, though I don't think those are public, unfortunately. Then I watch, James Gurney, who I believe, yes, is mostly a painter, so that's where I get most of my painting stuff from. He also wrote a book, and I also have that book. I haven't read all of it yet. Color and Light. Oh, wait. You're gonna have to trust me on the book, I guess. Wait, Color and Light, A Guide for the Realist Painter. Pretty good book. It's generally stuff about like colors and learning about colors and different lighting conditions. Pretty cool. And then I know some people who have a channel, but I haven't watched much from them, like Alfonso Dun, who wrote a book on inking that I haven't read, but I know it's pretty good apparently. And I believe I hardly ever read or watched tutorials on this stuff. For me, it's mostly by learning by doing. Yeah, that's fair. I like the way they can simplify or like explain some concepts, and then you obviously have to harden them by learning them. So like, even though I've basically read through the whole book, some of my figure drawings were really bad. I think I actually have some in here. Like this, where I still didn't quite get it. These are really fast figure drawings, to be fair, but this was like before I really started hardening my practice of figure drawing itself. I've gotten into some structures before that and stuff, but wonder if I have some very early figure drawings here. Not here. I can pull up some out though. Or like, without practice and without understanding what's written in the books, you can hardly like get anywhere. So I wouldn't say these are tutorials, they're more like frameworks through which you can kind of get familiar with the way to draw stuff. So like, you can do gesture without knowing how to do gesture, but when you understand the concepts of gesture, it's much easier. So what I'm doing in these drawings that I did like this whole time, this is just pure gesture. We didn't get into anatomy too much. And then when you get into stuff like anatomy, then it's obviously even more difficult because to do yourself, because you need to like know the muscles in the body. So like, these were done based off of construction done by other people. I didn't come up with the muscles in the body, and I didn't like observe the muscles in the body. So I had to like look what other people have written about. Especially this was, I think, Hampton and Bridgman, where Bridgman kind of breaks down the muscles in the body into stuff like this, which is pretty, like, not that easy to follow, but it's like intuitive enough. Just the same for the head and a lot of other things. You might have heard of him. He's quite well known. And then I think Hampton has done the same, but he's done it better, with like very clear colored sort of muscle structures and stuff that kind of convey how to construct the thing. I think this might be best conveyed by the feet themselves. He even does the Rapimancer, where he just goes kind of over how he constructs the feet, like this, which I find very useful when like drawing feet in detail. But these are like, this is how it looks, construction. It's a very similar construction method that I follow, because I mostly did learn from him, of course. So I do find these useful, because breaking them down myself and knowing like and drawing it convincingly for me is hard without like having the structures under it. And I find somewhat a similar trend with gesture for me, where I don't really know like how to make a drawing fluid enough without like understanding gesture first, so that's why I sort of looked into gesture, and now I have quite a few sources on it. And then, for instance, it's the same for me with perspective, where I had like an intuitive understanding of perspective, but now I sort of have a very technical understanding of perspective thanks to this book, which is also comics. And now when I sort of see something like this, or something like this, I do understand it, so that's very cool. I sort of can learn perspective with these tools, with these books. The perspective one is really quick, by the way. If you just like want a quick read into understanding perspective, I do recommend this book. Otherwise, not much. I also learn most stuff through observation, especially when it comes to like general drawing or general painting. I don't think I've ever like watched that many painting things except the one book that I haven't finished. And with inking, I also like read comics to get some intuitive understanding, so this would be my favorite. His name is Sergio Toppi. He's an Italian inker. He has these very expressive sort of inkings that I'm really, really fond of, but they're also extremely difficult to replicate. I do have a book on inking too, though, that has, of course, helped, but I think my inking is mostly learned from just observation and sort of learning along and trying to get better at drawing like these masters and stuff. It is, right? It's a super cool book. It is awesome. I completely agree. It is nice. He's really cool. Like, look at this. Holy. What, focus on it, camera. And he's not easy to replicate at all, but I wish I could. I know a person who's much better at it, and he doesn't even know who Topi is, so that's upsetting. Then I have some like for other type of inking. You know, these are just inspiration books that I learned from, so these are Japanese. It's a manga written by I believe his name is Panpanya. He illustrates with pure pen and ink, and it's really cool. I really like how he like does the detail, sort of. Though these are with tone, I believe, in his later works. He doesn't use tone at all, so that would be this book. I have two. I know he's written more, but they're very hard to get in here because he's a pretty niche Japanese artist. But his illustrations are very detailed for just being ink. With not much else, I'll try to look for a more, I guess, fleshed out illustration. These actually have tone. Also uses photos from time to time. It's pretty hard to find something. But generally I find his inking to be good. I do think he's sort of in the category of the very specific style that I found a lot of Japanese artists have. And he does, I wouldn't say suffer from it, like it really does depend if you like it or not. I quite like it, but I wouldn't want to draw like that myself. I think this illustration is what I took a lot of inspiration from. This one. So that's really cool. And it's just pure pen and ink. I don't think he uses stone here at any point. Any of these. So that's... I'm super fond of him. And then I have the Daylight Hour from Dungeon Meshi, so you might know that. I don't think it contains spoilers, it's just some design character sheets for races, designing characters, stuff like that. It's more or less a collection of drawings, not really like anything to study from, but I don't think I could probably study from it if I tried to. Like stuff like this, I feel like is pretty useful. Profiles, she does costumes, races. I mostly copied her when I was doing some of my colored work. And yeah, I do find her, especially her colors, to be really nice. She's also very good at conveying, like, I guess, gesture and especially the character design. So this is more like, I would say these are more like inspiration books than anything I actually study. Though I did study Pampanya a little bit. I have this as well, which, if you know Electric State, you know what I'm talking about. Stolberg is notoriously hard to copy because he uses photo mashing, which means he actually has real photos that he kind of paints on and paints with. My phone just died. Oh no. Oh no. What does that mean? It ran out of battery. Uh-oh. Well, I think we have to end it here. No, okay, I have read the Evangelion manga. I sometimes take inspiration from shot compositions from there. I have the art book from the original series downloaded, and I found it really cool. They have a very cool way of drawing mecha, and I do believe some of the sketches are in pen and ink. So that was really cool to me. I don't know if they were the anime for the anime or for the manga though. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to change a lot of things around now. Now that we're now that the phone died, that the camera died. Gonna flip this and go back to its original state. Okay. What now? God, I think we're gonna have to end it soon in that case. Let's see here. Can I open anything else? We might be able to draw on Krita, but that might get very laggy. Let's see. I do have some things open. I'm not sure. Let's see how laggy this will get. I don't even have my graphics tablet. I didn't think the camera's gonna just die. I don't know where my tablet is. Ooh. No, I don't think I can be able to find it anytime soon. It's probably hidden somewhere. Might be still in my bag. Yeah, I think it's not a bad note to close it on, honestly. Pause the music. God, what would I end this at? Some closing words. God, Jesus. So let's actually look over the figure drawings we did. Oh my god, this guy looks so good. I would want to draw. I am saving this photo for later. It's okay, I'm downloading the stream, so we definitely do have it. I'm gonna inspect element as well, which is actually, it's Control Shift C, I believe. Just get the photo real quick. Oh, come on. Well, I guess we're not gonna look over because I reloaded the page like an idiot. I turned on inspect element way too late. Well, that's sad. I don't reckon we can go back, can we? No. That sucks, doesn't it? Alright. Well, the website I was using is Line of Action. It probably says over how many images it has. I don't actually know. It has a lot of images though, all focused on figure drawing, animal drawing, or these categories that you see. I only use figure drawing ones. I did use the hands and feet, I believe. And I did once use this one. If you're ever interested in doing studies like this website is very good. I know some people use Pinterest as well. I don't like to use Pinterest because you need to, I like to credit people and they don't always share the stuff. A lot of stuff on Pinterest is stolen, so I can't really credit them. The advantage of Line of Action is they don't want to be credited and they can't be credited because most of the models are anonymous working with the website itself, so you can use it however you want, and that is why I'm using it. I would rather credit the models if I could, but I found out I can't, so whatever. As for other stuff, like I said, I've discussed the painters and people I like on YouTube, I guess. Another thing that I would show, I guess, is, I don't know if we've talked about my socials. You can check them out if you already didn't, which I believe everyone who's on the stream and who's watching the stream recording did. Please let me go to my socials, right? There's a lot of other figure drawings here, paintings, obviously, more figure drawings, and it gets worse as time goes on, obviously. This probably goes back a couple of years, so, you know, don't scroll too low, it'll get progressively worse. I do have a second account that most of you, assuming some people are watching this, might not know about, where I post lower effort stuff, but also compilations of my figure drawings. So these were the figure drawings I was talking about, them being critiqued for being too stale, which I think is a fair critique, they kind of are. Where I upload individual figure drawings with more quality behind them, so most of the figure drawings on this video will likely be dumped onto either this channel here or as a compilation on the other account. We'll see. I was doing a lot of figure drawings lately, so we might, as you can see here, so I don't want this to be only a figure drawings channel, so they might just go to the second one. That's about it. I'm doing a lot of today. I'm glad for everyone who's tuned in. I'm glad for everyone who's watching the recording, and I hope you'll have a great rest of your day / night / noon / all the other periods of the day, and that you enjoyed the stream / recording, because I might not do another one for how long? It usually takes more than a couple of days. It usually takes a couple of weeks, so I might not do another one for a couple of weeks, for a couple of months even. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. If I think it turned out pretty well, I might do another one eventually. Stream was pretty fun. I'll try to be here next time. Thank you. I'll also try to make it so there is a next time, which there likely will be. I enjoyed this stream. When we're recording it with my phone, I'll try to have make it have more battery next time. it is a lot more manageable since I can actually draw on paper, not on the screen, which gets very buggy when I try to record this as well. So this was definitely easier on me and on my computer and on my hardware. And so I wouldn't mind actually repeating it at all, because this was pleasant. Next time we might even be looking at a painting or a drawing, we'll see. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.